Hey everybody, I'm Josh and welcome to another episode of Just Sayin. We have a lot to talk about today in our first 15 minutes, so it's time for our host chat segment. Let's get chatting. First of all, I just have a couple things to say before we continue, before we move on with the show. First of all, I want to say thank you to, last week I told you about what's going on in my personal life. With my family, and I just want to say thank you to everyone who emailed me their thoughts and prayers. I will email both of you back as soon as I can, all two of you. Anyway, so no, but thank you seriously for the concerns, and I'm filming this before I post it, so thank you for all the comments. Moving on. We had family emergencies last week, and I want to say thank you to all my coworkers and to my bosses. It was just one phone call, and 10 minutes later, my shift was covered, and I just want to say thank you. I love working with the people I work with, even though I want to kill you at points. And thank you to my bosses who didn't have to give me the time off and would have said find somebody or come in, which has happened at other places that I've worked. So the fact that they didn't even consider or want me coming in, even the day that I found out about my mom's cancer. I was at work and got off the phone with my sister, and I was bartending that day, and I just dropped to my knees and started crying. They sent me home immediately, and I just want to say thank you. It means so much that I have a second family at work. Like I said, just like every family member in your real family, I want to kill you sometimes, but we're all family, and the next shift we go in and everything's back to normal. So thank you to everyone at work. I love you guys. Thank you for all your support and concerns. Moving right along, it's time for me to answer the question, what is Josh drinking? PepsiCo. Call me. Email me. Why does everyone, when you're talking about email, why does everyone do this? I mean, I know it means because we're typing. But when we talked back in the day about writing letters, we didn't say, oh, I'll write you a letter soon. No, it's just like, email me. Anyway. PepsiCo, call me. I didn't run to the store this morning to get Gatorade, so I'm drinking good old Mountain Dew. Blue Gatorade, grape, cool blue Gatorade, grape, or my Mountain Dew. Even coupons at work, PepsiCo. Waiting with bated breath. I don't know what that means, but I hear it all the time. We have a lot going on, and I have some major announcements coming up. So it's time for me to tell you what's going on with the show. And because of everything, I got it all typed out for you over here as I talk about it. But take notes, because there will be a test at the end of the show. Maybe on TikTok. So season 8, which is the season we're doing right now, will end on June 19th. And then because of all of my family stuff going on, I'm not saying it's a burden to do the show, because like I've said before, it's awesome to sit down and just be able to forget about things for 45 minutes to 7 hours while I'm filming. Kidding. So after season 8 ends on June 19th, I post that last episode, I'm going to be taking a 6-week break just to focus on my family. I know that you guys will understand that, which is why I decided to do that. And there were some hiccups at the end of the calendar year with season 10. And that was because of the way I wanted certain episodes at certain times of the season. I was only going to be able to have 8 episodes in season 10. and I felt that I was shorting you guys a couple episodes. So I've kind of been thinking about how I was going to rearrange things, and I think I've got it figured out. So after I take my 6-week break, I will return for season 9 on August 7th, which is we'll start our back to school month, and there will be 14 episodes in season 19. You know what? No, I've just officially decided there's going to be 15 episodes in season 9. The 14th episode, however, our 14th episode will be my 100th episode. So be sure to watch that. I'm not sure what's going to happen yet. And then the week after, I was going to combine that with the season finale, but let's separate the two and take one whole episode to honor my 100th episode. So that's why I decided to do it. And then I will be doing a bonus episode on on December 18th for Christmas. Normally that's my season end of my last season of the year's season finale. But the way it's working out, I'm just going to do a bonus episode. Which brings me to my next point. I decided to do, I tried it last year. It didn't quite work out. So I'm going to try it again this year. I will have exact numbers for you in the next episode. But I'm going to do my Toys for Tots campaign again. So for every new subscriber I get starting next week until the day I post my Christmas episode, which is December 18th, for every new subscriber, I will donate $1 to Toys for Tots up to $100. I only need like 60 subscribers. Like I said, I'll have actual numbers next week. But when I totally just lost my train of thought. So I'm actually donating an extra. If I get those 60 subscribers, I will donate an extra $40 to Toys for Tots. So in reality, I'm giving $100 if I can just get $60 or 60 subscribers. You don't have to do anything but click a button. That's all you got to do. December 19th, click that button again and unsubscribe if you want. Don't, but if you want, you could. Just keep subscribed until December 18th. Okay? Okay. That's all I gotta say. I'm actually, every time I rehearse this, I was over on time, and I'm actually 3 minutes under time. So, let me take a drink here and see how much time that can waste. Not enough at all, or I'd be floating out of here. So we're gonna keep on going. It's time for another cheesy monologue. As I stated a couple of weeks ago, I believe at the beginning of the season, the third week, I totally wasn't in the right spot. The third week of May is National Police Week. I know that in the past few years there's been a lot of controversy surrounding the police and civilians, and I want to say that I personally support the boys and girls in blue, men and women in blue, and which is why next week I'm doing a bonus, I'm sorry, not a bonus episode, it's just an episode dedicated to the men and women in blue. It's going to be my Boys in Blue episode. Sorry, I know there's police women out there. I'm not trying to discriminate. I'm gay, and so I decided with Boys in Blue. Okay. So this week and next week, as usual, I went to latenightLOL.com, and in the search bar typed in police. There were a couple hundred jokes, so like I said, this week and next week, my monologue jokes will be about police, while they will also be outdated. Hold on tight. Here we go. It was reported that a research lab at the University of Texas just found out that they are missing 100 human brains. Police don't know who have the brains, but have ruled out Governor Rick Perry. Marvel has announced that Spider-Man comic series in which Spider-Man will be a biracial teen who is half Latino, half African American. And you thought the police were after Spider-Man before. That was a misfire on the button, but it worked. Police in Florida have arrested a man who said he has finally achieved a goal of shoplifting in all 50 states. You know what the term is for someone who steals from all 50 states? Congress. It's time now for my joke of the week. Police in Brazil are looking for hackers responsible for broadcasting 15 minutes of hardcore porn in a bus station on bus station monitors. The people in the Brazilian bus station were disgusted by what they saw on the monitors until the porn came on. Police in New Jersey arrested a Dunkin' Donuts employee for prostituting herself to customers, so I guess you can pay for anything with a hole in it. A police officer in San Francisco was arrested for running a brothel. They became suspicious when he would only handcuff people who paid extra. Slipped him a business card, too. German police are hunting for a pair of robbers who hypnotized a woman before stealing her jewelry. The police could tell the woman was hypnotized because when they asked for a statement, her reply was, "Bark, bark, 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 bark." That's right, everybody. You're welcome for my impression of a chicken. I can also do my impression of a rooster, but this is a family show. That's right, I can do an impression of a cock. I thought about that joke in one of my rehearsals, and it just sounded really funny in my head, so I thought I would continue it. Florida police are searching for a person who accidentally donated a duffel bag to a thrift shop that contained almost 5 pounds of marijuana. "This smells like weed," said customers at every thrift store about every item. In Virginia, someone broke into a man's apartment, cleaned it, and took nothing. Police are describing the suspect as his mother. And finally, I am dedicating a bonus joke of the week every week for the next couple weeks to the men and women in blue. So in honor of them, here is a bonus joke of the week. And it's a good one. An Oregon man called Portland police Monday to report that traffic was being held up by a chicken attempting to cross the road. The next day, he called back to report that a priest and a rabbi walked in the bar. And the third one ducked. Just kidding, that part wasn't on there, but it was still really funny in my head again. So here we go. Chocolate Chip Cookie Day is May 15th, so I thought it'd be fun to look at some horribly decorated cakes in this week's edition of Nailed It! Kinda. So my buttons just disappeared off my monitor. Hold on. There we go. They're back now. All right, here we go. So here is the first one. I'm assuming it's supposed to be a 3-layer cake, not a poop emoji. I mean, it totally could be a poop emoji, because that's what it looks like. True story one time. So I was at my grandma's house, I think, and I'm sorry. I had just moved into the apartment my grandma lived in before she passed away. And I was baking, like she knew I was moving in there because she was going into an independent facility. And she knew I was moving in there so my parents could renovate the other one. And so she left me some like canned foods and stuff. Well, she left me this cake mix. And so one day I feel bakey and I want a cake. So I went over to my mom's house and said, "Hey, I'm making a cake. Grandma left me this cake mix. I want to make a cake." Okay, great. Fine. So she gives me 2 little circle pans because I wanted to be cool and make a double layer cake. I pull, I pull, I pull the cakes out of the oven, and I kid you not, both of the cakes together with frosting were that high. And it's not knowing, I'm a guy. I don't bake. I'm like, I took the cake over to my mom, and my mom says, she goes, "What'd you do with the other half of the cake?" I said, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "I thought you were going to do a double layer cake." And I said, "I did. There's 2 cakes there." Come to find out, the mix was expired, and so there was no yeast or something in it that didn't make it rise like it was supposed to. Oh, God rest you, Grandma. I hadn't thought about that in a long time. Sorry. Here we go. Here's the next one. Happy birthday under that, Danny. I don't think they wanted that on the cake. I think those were just instructions. It's like when you watch a live show and the teleprompter says make a sad face, and they say make a sad face. Anyway, this one is rather disturbing, and you know my rule. If I have to see it, you have to see it. The first part is that it's a baby doll in the cake. The worst part is that it's in an oven. I'm thinking they're trying to tell somebody she's pregnant, and so there's a baby in the oven. I'm going to go with that theory because it's not as creepy that way. Let's be real. Here's the next one. I'm hoping beyond all hope, that this cake was supposed to say, world's greatest father. But in some families, that would be the same title. Not in my family, though. My dad doesn't get that. I'm not going to say who does. That's going to move right past that. Here we go. Here's the next one. Again, just because they say it on the phone doesn't mean they want it on the cake. Congrats, ACPEC seniors. Capitalize, underline, all other lowercase. Let alone, I literally just noticed this. It says capitalize. Maybe it was a person with southern drawl. You capitalize. I'm trying to, in my head, make a reason as to why those mistakes are on there. This, I'm guessing, was supposed to be a cake of Olaf. And it didn't come out right, I hope. I don't know why he's got a stick for a body. Here's the next one. You know, when you're making a cake, make sure you know how to spell. Especially if it's named after a television show. There's no S, and it says Freeind. Do you not know how to space? That really gets my goat. Here's the next one. I have sat here after I found this picture. What I do is I sit here and first of all, if I don't see why it's funny, I sit and I stare at it for a minute. If I do see why it's funny, I still sit and stare at it for a minute because maybe like the capitalized thing, maybe I'll find something. I don't know. And I have tried and tried and tried to figure out what this person was attempting to put on the cake. And I cannot figure it out. But I feel really bad for the person who got a cake with a penis on it. I don't know. Because why would there be a hole where there's a hole? Like, what else would it be? I don't get it. I don't get it. Sorry, my computer froze, so I don't know if I'm filming right now. There might be a long pause, because I don't know if I'm filming or not. Okay, I'm sorry about that. My computer froze. Luckily, when I paused recording, it unfroze. So I have no idea what's about to happen. We're just going to go and see what I come up with when I continue filming. I apologize about that. And I just really don't want to refilm this. Here we go. You know, again, if you're going to decorate cakes, make sure you know how to spell. And make sure you know what words are that someone's trying to get you to put. I'm assuming they didn't want you to validate someone named someone in the Victorian era. I'm assuming it's supposed to say valedictorian, not valid Victorian. You may have to stop and think about what they're trying to. Why would anyone say that? You know what? You know that person, you know the person decorating that cake was like, I don't know why anyone would put that on a cake, but oh well. So you knew it wasn't supposed to be on there, crazy person? Here's the next one. With such a high holiday, you may want to learn how to spell even if you don't know how to celebrate it, because Christmas isn't a word. Christmas. Here we go, that's what it would be. Christmas. Anyway. Well, next up on May 20th is Endangered Species Day. So I thought it'd be fun to look at some adorable little pet shaming in this week's edition of Possibly Adorable. So, here's the first one. We're going to read the dog on the left first. My human calls me Hugo. My human calls me Haley, get down. Huxley. I think it's Huxley, sorry. Huxley. Drop it. Huxley. Gentle. Huxley! That's kind of funny. At least I think it was, or it wouldn't have been on the show. Here's the next one. Actually, that's the next one. Here's the next one. It's kind of funny. 0 days since the last toilet paper massacre. And you know that dog knows they're in trouble. You know it just by looking at that face. Because sometimes, like, maybe there will be a wet spot on the carpet. Well, I could have spilled something because I'm as clumsy as it can be. I've always said, put me in a bubble, lock me in a padded cell. I will find a way to get hurt. I'm clumsy. So, I can understand that you may accidentally punish the dog, and the dog, just because you're yelling, kind of cower. Well, then I feel bad when I find out what really happened. Like when I thought my dog was trying to eat my shoe, yelled at her, hit her in the butt with the shoe, and as I did that, a piece of her bone popped out of the shoe. So, but that look on that dog's face was totally like, I did it. Here's the next one. A little creepy. I stole a baby doll head from a 6-year-old and ripped it off the head. I totally read that note wrong. Didn't realize it until the end. Here is the next one. I have no shame. I hopped out of the car window and got into the next car because the person was eating a chicken. KFC chicken. Hey. It's food on a bone, so I really wouldn't do this, but who wouldn't go into some random person's car because they're eating KFC? I mean, come on. You can't be mad at your dog for something you do too. I have eaten so many Legos, I could poop out a Star Wars ship. I believe they call that a Death Star. I believe. Here's the next one. I ate a headband and a sock. Then I had explosive diarrhea and all over my crate and my blanket and my toys and through the bars onto the floor. Then I made my human take me to the vet, I'm sorry, it gets really small there. And spend so much money, and now I act like it never happened. I think we get the gist of it. You don't need to totally, like, in some situations, I feel bad for the dogs in these, but it's the notes that make them funny. That one is just making the dog look bad. I'm sorry I got sick because you don't clean up after yourself. Here's the next one. I steal and eat dirty tissues and then run into my grandma's when I'm told no. That actually, I don't know this for sure, but that actually looks like a former friend of mine's dog. Here's the next one. My dog likes to do this too. I like to watch people pee. Even if I shut the door, like I can hear my dog hit the door, like she's trying to get in. You know how they walk up to a door and with their nose try and bat it open? I can hear her doing that. You weirdo. That's called voyeurism. If I did that in a bathroom, I would be arrested. Time out after attacking the vacuum cleaner. What is it with dogs and vacuum cleaners? I don't understand it. Now, my parents' dog, I will say, has a rational fear of lawnmowers. Because at one point, we'd always have to put her on her chain when we took her out while she was outside one day when I or my mom was mowing, and they hit her chain, and it started getting caught in the blades and was like pulling on her. And so I can understand that. But what has a vacuum cleaner done to a dog? I mean, really? See, I like pictures like this, where when the human knows they're in trouble, they shame themselves too. The human's sign says, I left my teeth on... I'm sorry. I took out my teeth and left them on the end table. The dog says, I ate the teeth. Well, at least the human has taken responsibility. I would take responsibility. I wouldn't post it, but I would take responsibility. All right, so May 21st is National Memo Day. So be sure to send out a memo or leave someone a loving note, like the ones in this segment that I like to call, What's Wrong Here? A note is just a memo, people. So we're going to take a look at some hilarious notes left by strangers. Here we go with number one. To the hottie in class, did you sit in a pile of sugar because you have a sweet ass? I can't read that other word. Pretty sweet ass. That's actually a clever pickup line. Very clever pickup line. When you, as a husband, you know how other husbands are. And you know the crap that sometimes your wife can put you through. Like when I was growing up, we lived in the country. We had a big long lane down the road, which my mom, every single winter, like it was a new thing there every winter. She would pull up down the driveway at 6:30 in the morning to go get the paper and do a U-turn at the end of the driveway pull up to the mailbox, get the paper, and then drive back down the lane. At least once a season, once a year, she would hit the mailbox with the van and huge dent down the side of it. Every year. Like, it just suddenly is there. Anyway. So, husbands understand what their wives put them through. Or make them go through. Like this guy. My wife hit your mailbox avoiding a squirrel. I know, right? Our number is blah, blah, blah. Like, I brake for squirrels. I don't dart off the road for squirrels. I wouldn't die for a squirrel. But, you know. This one I have never had to receive as a server in the 20-some years I have been a server, off and on. Obviously, because it's about his wife. But I've never seen anyone get a letter like this, but it's kind of funny. When you wait on a table, look at both people, not just my wife. Oops. Yes, sir, what can I get for you? What? Yeah. Okay. I'd be looking at it. Never mind. See, sometimes the filter from bad joke stops me. Due to rising summer temperatures, we will not be accepting boob or sock money. Questionably, most bills are subject to what? Denial. We're sorry, but it's gross. Suspect bills. I get it. Yeah, it kind of bothers me when women are like, oh, here is $50. If you have $50, why can't you buy a purse? Yeah. Anyway, this is pretty clever. You park like an asshole. Please don't reproduce with a condom. How would you... This next one. Now, I will admit, and I think I've talked about it on the show, I smoke weed. I don't see a problem with it. Helps with my anxiety. Helps with my migraines. But I've never been this high. Here's what the note says. Dear 812 residents, I regret to inform you that I took your doorknob. I was tripping balls and thought it was a muffin. When have you ever thought you had to... When have you ever thought you would ever have to unscrew a muffin from a wall before you eat it? Like, seriously. Oh, Lord. And why would you think there would just be a muffin floating along a wall? Oh, that is hilarious. Hide your wife. Hide your kids. Hide your bike. But seriously, people have been cutting chains and stealing bikes. Just an FYI. Way to get their attention, though. Here's the next one. Okay, so I'm going to have to get close to the computer for this because I can't read it. Dear friend, take the flute and shove it up your bleep. You have no talent. Give your neighbors a break. If not, we are going to break it. You don't tell somebody they don't have talent. I'd be just like, you stupid fool, or leave a note like this. You sing horribly. And finally, you know what really bothers me when I'm driving is when you come up on interstate construction or construction on city roads, whatever. Legally, 2.5 miles before that, they post a sign that says, blah lane closed ahead. Obviously, you have to slow down. It annoys the crap out of me when people just assume that they can be let over and go right next to you and then get mad at you when you don't let them over. You had 2.5 miles to get over. I got over like it said to. And now all of a sudden I have to keep you entitled people so that you don't have to get over when you need to get over just to get one car ahead. We're all going to be going 55 miles an hour here. We're in construction. Like this person. I'm an entitled jackass taking 2 whole parking spots up for 2 weeks. The worst part about that sign is all the tape. And that's the punishment that they should. I would feel happy just putting tape on someone's car, like this big of a piece of tape for this little bitty note. I would do it just because it's a pain in the butt. And they deserve it. I'm kind of a vengeful person, if you couldn't tell. Oh, anyway. Well, that will do it for this week. Be sure to join me next week for my very special show that I'm dedicating to the boys in blue. It will be a hilarious episode. But if you think there's something funny I should see and share on the show, be sure to send it to me. There's the show email address, as well as my TikTok, where you will find exclusive content, teaser versus videos, and exclusive TikTok contests. You never know. There actually might be a pop quiz on my TikTok after I post this about the rules like I teased there would be. You never know unless you follow me on TikTok. And lastly, while you're sitting there typing in, finding me on TikTok and subscribing, go ahead and subscribe to me here. Like, comment, and get the notifications anytime I post a new episode. Because you never know when I might post a random thing like a special episode for Christmas or whatnot. You never know. Unless you subscribe. Picking up what I'm putting down now. Okay. I have no idea what I'm doing. What is going on here? Okay. There we go. Wow. All right. So, without further ado, that will do it for me this week. Be sure to tell your parents, be sure to tell your loved ones how much you love them, how much they mean to you. And until next week, everybody, that's all I'm saying.